Hi, it's Alice Chance from Transition Partners. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my vlog today. Everyone's invited to my party. It's all about creating a digitally inclusive space within tech. Enjoy! Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to my digital diversity vlog today. My name is Alice Chance and this is the vlog Everyone's Invited to My Party. So today I have the lovely Jem Henderson with me and we're going to be talking all things diversity and inclusion. So Jem, do you want to go ahead, sort of introduce yourself, how you're involved within the sort of tech community and who you are?
Hello everyone, I'm Jem Henderson. I am the Entrepreneur Engagement Manager for Tech Nation in Yorkshire. So half of my job is finding people for the Tech Nation programs that we do, but half of my job is what I like to call digital gossip. So I go around and I talk to everybody and I find out what's happening. So when somebody comes to me, I can go, "Ooh, you should talk to this person. They're doing a thing that you'd really enjoy." So essentially that, I'm a bit of a super connector.
Ah, a connector. I like that. Sounds like a really cool job, linking people together.
It's something
And
that I do like anyway, like my friends, if they come to me, like,
yeah,
"Oh, you should talk to this person. Oh, you should go to that place." So
you're
like
like a workplace matchmaker.
I'm getting paid to do what I do already.
Yeah, that's perfect. Um, so obviously I kind of found you, I think I found you through Twitter because I saw that you were super passionate sort of about diversity and inclusion, especially LGBTQ plus rights. How did you get into that?
Well, I guess I identify as queer. That is kind of both in a sexuality perspective and in a gender perspective. Um, like my best friend that I lived with when I was 20 is a trans woman who transitioned like 15 years ago. When I moved to Leeds about a year, oh, it'd be a year ago, like basically
Mm.
now, I met a homeless 22-year-old trans girl in the Fenton and like just went, "I've been homeless. I've
Yeah.
been a trans person. Come stay with me." Thankfully, she was amazing and she didn't turn out to be a crazy person because that could have gone horribly
Yeah.
wrong.
Wow.
Um, but no, I just really care about the underdog, that people that need extra support. Like for me, getting Taylor to move in, it wasn't about anything other than knowing that if you're homeless, what you need is a platform to grow from. That's
Yeah,
it. You don't need
definitely.
anything else. You can get a job, but you can't really get a job if you're homeless.
No,
Or
you
you can
can't
get
get a bank
benefits.
account.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
get.
There's loads of stuff to it. So just giving her somewhere that was safe and secure, and she had a key for, and she could shut the door on her own room, and that's all she needed. And now she's gone off and she's got a job and she's got her own place now.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, like
What did she
so
get a job doing in the end?
she was a chef. She was a chef anyway, but
Oh,
she lost her job. She basically lost her job because she called out her manager for dead naming her in the
okay.
middle of a staff meeting. Like
Mhm.
they used her dead name, and when she kicked off about it, she got fired. So that is why I'm really passionate about trans rights, because like that's outrageous. If you,
100%.
if you see
Um,
the statistics from like Pink News, like there's a there's a big minority of companies in this country that won't hire a trans person because they're
yeah,
freaked out about it. They don't
yeah.
understand. And no, it's not okay.
I think that lack of understanding is huge. So I had a quick read up this morning, and apparently 1 in 4 trans people have lost their job due to sort of biases, and more than three within 4 people face workplace discrimination. I've never worked with somebody that's trans, and I think that's something. What if you watch Disclosure, the documentary?
Yes.
Yeah, and they were saying how 80% of people in America don't know anybody that's trans, and the images were presented of trans people are so negative and have been so negative, and that we need these positive images because we don't know that many trans people. We need to comfort them and normalize it into our society and just
Yeah.
accept them with open arms. But that's amazing. I didn't
I
know
think
that
it's a
about you with
spectrum.
Taylor.
It's a spectrum as well as kind of trans.
Yeah.
Where I sit is I am genderqueer. I have days where I go, I cannot dress like a girl today. It makes me very
Mhm.
uncomfortable, so I will dress in my boy clothes, and that's it. I feel like fine and that I'm presenting okay. You know, if is it really gender dysphoria if it's fixed by just changing your outfit? I don't think that that's true.
Exactly.
Whereas, you know, then you kind of go through the full spectrum to binary trans people who present as super feminine women, or likewise super masculine men, and kind of everything in between. And we have all these preconceived ideas about trans people. And I think where, you know, that do you know the term TERF? A
Yes, I know what a
radical,
turf is.
a transgender radical
No turfs
feminist.
on my blog.
No TERFs
Yeah,
allowed.
no turfs on here.
But I think that, you know, the reason that they get their backs up so much is because, you know, the idea of radical feminism is to abolish gender. And then they see somebody who is getting dressed up in super girly clothes and going, well, you're just playing at being a girl because girls aren't really like that. Well, I know girls that love hair and, I mean, look, my hair has been different every single week in lockdown. Like, I love hair and doing my makeup. So why is it any different if somebody that is trans is doing it? Like, it's just not. Just,
Exactly. I think it's the whole thing that they feel like you've never been through the normal stages of that cis woman has. You have never, you know, had that first sort of period and everything like that. You've never, as a child, been sexualized and this, and this, and that's something I see a lot from TERFs on sort of Twitter and everything like that. Like, you don't know the lived experience of a woman. That's how I think they believe it, and that's how they
But the thing
experience
is,
it.
all you have to do is you have to expand your idea of what the lived experience of a woman is
Mm-hmm.
to include that of a trans woman
Exactly.
who feels dysphoric, who feels uncomfortable in their own body, who identifies as a different gender. Like, that is just a different woman's experience of being a woman. Yeah, it's not hard. Just expand what words mean. That's how words work.
And trans people as well, you know, they've had these awful experiences. A lot of trans, especially when they're young girls, are exploited by men and things like that. And it's, you know, I don't think they see past that. I think, you know, it's the whole J.K. Rowling issue at the moment, who I know, well, I guess the whole, if you read a book, her books are very white when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I'm not a Harry Potter, so I read a lot of fantasy. In fact, it's my genre of choice. But if I'm going to read a fantasy book, I'm going to read N.K. Jemisin over J.K. Rowling any day of the week. Like, just
I was
vast.
never a Potter fan. I was never a Potter fan.
No, Lord of the Rings, all the way.
Exactly. Exactly. So you mentioned earlier that you used to live with somebody who was trans. And how long ago was that? The
He
first
moved
person
out like a month
you would
ago.
house me.
Oh, like,
Sorry.
so the first time round.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, so I was kind of sick with mental health problems from 19 to 25. Anyway, and so during that time I had my own place, but I had a friend who was transitioning, and essentially we just helped each other out all the time. So
Yeah.
I lived on her sofa half the time, she was at mine half the time,
Mm.
mostly at her house because she had Sky so we could watch Starfield. um, so yeah, she kind of did her real life test. I don't know if they still call it that now, I don't
Yeah.
know. And kind of transitioned over the course of a few years, and then went out to Thailand to have her gender, what's the term?
Gender affirming.
Gender affirming, that's the one. Thanks.
That's
It's very
okay.
early in the morning still. Surgery. Like, I spoke to her every day. On God, that was probably my first video call
Oh,
thing. Doing
really?
that all the time, just because it was really nice to see her. Because yeah, it's tough, particularly like going out somewhere really far away. To be honest, I wouldn't do it because it'd be too bloody hot.
Yeah. Did she do it because it's a money issue or because of like the lack of sort of
Just the doctor there is like the best in the world.
okay.
So
Yeah, I guess there was quite a large trans, well, not scene, but there were a lot of trans people in Thailand. It's very normal over there.
yeah,
Has been
I think
normal
it's
for a long time.
I think different third genders or other genders are much more common in well, I don't know, maybe it was common in Pict culture or Celtic. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know where it is common. I know you've got things like the hijra in India, and like you say, there's a lot of trans people in Thailand. Native Americans, you've got kind of two-spirit people. I mean, that's different for different
Mm-hmm.
tribes, but you know, culturally, it's only white, cis, heteronormative Christian culture that kind of moved in and went, no, third
Yeah,
genders are bad.
this
You
isn't
are
a
boy or
thing.
girl.
Yeah, you should wear pink and you should wear blue, and that's it. There's
That's
no
it.
difference. You mentioned earlier as well that obviously you've been signed off work with mental health issues. I hope you don't mind me bringing this up.
I have no, just no shame. Like my life
Okay,
is life. I wear
right.
my heart on my sleeve. I think it's really important to talk about stuff like this because
Yeah.
ultimately, so I had a very traumatic childhood and I was
Mm.
homeless. I got kicked out of home at 16 and I lived in a squat and lived in a homeless hostel.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of managed to sort myself out, got myself sort of wobbly on my feet, and then
Mm.
when I was painting and decorating, I guess I got so to the point where I could just do it without thinking that
Mm.
suddenly my brain took over and went, think about all the things that have happened to you in your life and are they terrible? And I just went, oh, no. And basically had a
Yeah.
massive breakdown. And yeah, I got signed off sick. It was really bad, in fact. I had a friend, I was sitting talking to him and I made a joke about people being able to hear what I was thinking. And he went, you know, people can't hear what you're thinking, right? And I went,
Mm.
better go to the doctors then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So I was off sick for maybe it was like 7 years, in fact, because I went to college in Harrogate and I ended up doing 3 degrees while I was on like off sick, just
Oh
because
wow.
we can't do nothing. But
Yeah.
when
I
like
mean, I would have done nothing. So
7 years.
like amazing for you that you were able to do that.
Well, no, I'm very busy. I like doing things all the
Yeah.
time. I think there's quite a high likelihood that I have ADHD, so I just
Yeah.
need to have
Constant, that sort of.
mainly spinning plates all the time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, don't get me wrong, my first year of college, I had 40% attendance. It wasn't like,
Okay.
it
Wasn't
was,
an easy ride, yeah.
no, but kind of as I got better and better, yeah, I did okay. So I did an art degree, I did an English degree, and I did a creative writing master's.
Oh wow.
So like I'm still, in fact, lockdown has been amazing for my writing. I've been
Yeah,
writing
I can imagine.
loads of poetry,
Mm.
which has been amazing. But yeah, I got my first job in tech 2 weeks after I handed in my master's dissertation, and that was when I kind of came off sick pay,
Yeah,
and then I've worked in tech ever
ever
since.
since. Wow. And have you found like a home in tech? Have you found like it's been like a welcoming place for you?
I
Have you
love
ever
tech.
sort of struggled with it? Because I know
Um,
there's the very sort of male dominated
I think
industry.
maybe because I identify as genderqueer, I don't particularly have that much of an issue with the
Yeah.
like I can hold my like the worst. I've never really had any overt sexism, I don't think, that has
Mm.
particularly annoyed me any more than it does in normal life. The
Yeah.
most annoying thing that ever happened to me was I was talking to someone, I was talking about how much I love Star Trek, and he went, what's your favorite Enterprise then? And I was like,
I hope you schooled them. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you told
like,
them.
actually, I think you'll find my favorite Enterprise is the Defiant.
Yeah, I love doing anything like that to men, and I'm sorry because there's lots of nice men, but there's also lots of men that like
Oh,
to
just
bring women
gatekeepers.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was a post on Reddit the other day. It might have been in Am I the Asshole, which was I I had to nerd test a girl just to make sure she wasn't trying to hang out with us because she wanted to be cool like we are. And now none of my friends are talking to me. Like, yeah, good. Well done
I'm
them.
glad your friends aren't talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So would you say there could be any improvements? Sort of, I know there's always improvements. There's
But the
always room
improvements
for
have to be
improvement.
getting
But
the people through the door, right?
yeah,
Let's get black people, let's get Asian people, let's get trans people, let's get women, let's get them in through the door. Let's start thinking about tech in a different way. One of the things that I talk about quite a lot when it comes to this sort of thing is working mothers, particularly like working class working mothers.
yeah,
So if we could start thinking about how to get people into tech that don't traditionally sit in tech. So you kind of got working class. So I am a working class single mother. I work in tech, and you know it's fine. And I know loads of other single
yeah,
mothers that work in tech. But the problem is that unless you kind of come from a slightly more privileged background, you don't know what the jobs are. So I
No,
would
no.
say that any working class mother who can manage 2 kids and a household and her work, you know, hypothetically, she could be working in retail. If you can manage that, you could be a project manager. Like, that is
Yeah,
way more
yeah,
than a
that's a
project.
perfect point. Women,
Exactly.
mothers are the perfect project managers.
This is
You're
very
right.
true. But I think, but you don't know. Like, I never
Is
knew
that
about things like a project management job when I was in
exactly?
school.
I mean, like I'm obviously do tech recruitment, and I didn't know about all these jobs. I didn't know all these jobs existed. I thought I was going to come into this job, and I said it the other day that I thought IT was using Excel spreadsheets and that's about it. And I knew there was programming, but I didn't know what that meant. And I just imagined some guy, probably like Bill Gates, and that was my idea of IT and technology. So coming into this industry is like opened my eyes. There's so many roles and there's so many jobs out here for people, and it's just everything's moving towards this direction.
Mm-hmm.
Women need to get involved, and I just want them to have that confidence to get involved. I think there's quite a lot of good programs within the Leeds City Council that they're starting up, trying to get women in. And I think you said about, you know, Tech Up with Dr. Sue Black.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that's an
You know, that
amazing.
amazing
Yeah,
hair lady.
yes, like that project that she's doing. There's so many things, but there's still so many women that wouldn't be aware of this. They wouldn't be aware that these jobs are available and these jobs that are out there. And it's just sort of getting that knowledge. I think one of the key things to sort of inclusion and diversity is knowledge.
Oh, yeah,
From
totally.
young to old, and you have to keep learning.
Well, actually, I've got a tattoo that says that. On apprendo means I am still learning.
Oh wow, perfect.
It's got to be remembered, right?
So a question I always like to ask is, what do you think personally diversity brings to a workplace? This is a good question, I think.
I mean, aside from colour, which is my
Yeah.
favourite, it's not just about kind of about ticking boxes, which is what it feels like a lot of diversity comes down to.
Yeah.
It's about the value of different people's lived experiences, because the experiences that you have make you think about things in a different way. And yes, we're all the same, but likewise, we're all a very, very little bit different. So I did a diversity and inclusion workshop at a conference in Denmark last year, when you were allowed to go places and see people.
Yeah. And
And
traveling is fun.
and what I did, and kind of it was like a mixed group of people, like some kind of senior leadership people versus some people that are kind of just starting out. And I got everybody in the room to write down 5 experiences that made them who they are today.
Yeah.
And then I got everybody to sit and share 3 of them. So you could kind of keep back the one that you maybe didn't want to share.
Yeah.
Or straight up, like, this is
me.
Yeah. And through doing that, it gave everybody in the room, no matter what level that they were at, an understanding of that exact fact, of the fact that we're all kind of different, and all of these experiences that we have make us think about things differently. So there might have been a girl who had been in care, who her experiences made her really like focus on her team in terms of management style and not on work. And you know, somebody whose father had died and who perhaps had taken on a leadership role where he was trying to emulate him. But it was just it wasn't necessarily about going, you know, and this is what that means and this is what you can do about it. It's just about opening people's eyes to the experiences that they and other people have had around them, just to make them go, oh, actually everybody is special and everybody has value and everybody has input and everyone has important things that have happened to them, and therefore everybody gets a seat at the table. And I guess that's what diversity and inclusion is for me.
Exactly.
That making sure that everybody is valued at the table.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's this whole stagnant thing as well. When you're only employing the same people time and time again, your business isn't going to move anywhere. You know, there's so much more creativity within culture, and I think that's really important. So I have one last question for you. Is there anything people are ever afraid to ask you that you'd like to answer?
I don't think people are afraid to ask me stuff because they just know I'll just
Good. So many people that I speak to are just like, I want I want to tell people this, but I'm afraid to ask them, and it's a sort of unconscious
Okay.
biases and
I've got one.
okay.
I guess I kind of covered it. Like, it's to do with homelessness. Like,
Yeah.
homeless people are just people without a home. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, you can have a house and still be homeless. You
Hmm.
can sleep on somebody's sofa and still be homeless. And one of my massive concerns right now is COVID-19 means we're all paying for everything contactless. Nobody's got any cash in their pockets.
Exactly.
I was talking yesterday to my partner, and we were talking about homelessness. Essentially, homelessness itself has a class issue where there
Yeah.
are people who are going, well, all I need is somewhere to live and then I'll be fine. And then
Mhm.
there are the people that need extra help. There are people that have, you know, drug problems or mental health
Yeah.
problems. And
Yeah.
they right now, I think, you know, the government money is disappearing, so they're not being put up in hotels anymore. So, you know, go into town and you'll see homeless people back on the streets.
Mhm.
Necessarily, yeah, how are we going to make sure that these people aren't going to fall through the cracks? And there is arguments to be made. Well, you know, if these people, you just give them money and they just spend it on drugs. Like, I was homeless,
Yes.
I took drugs. I'm really sorry, but my life was really hard, and that's what I
Yeah.
went through.
Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
not going to begrudge them that. And I
There's a
do really,
narrow-mindedness towards homeless people that they just
and I
don't
do,
want help, and it's almost. I think people feel like it's a choice. I don't think anybody nobody
no,
chooses to be on the
no,
street.
and you know what? Even if you do make that choice, that's your choice. And like, we have to treat everybody as valued at the table, every single
Yeah.
person in society. It's really important. I wasn't
Yeah.
so, I don't know if I was answering a question then or just ranting as a
Well, I
total.
don't know. I liked what you said, but it's sort of very fitting to everyone's invited to the party. But no, that's been fantastic. So thank you for catching up with me today. I feel
Thanks for
like
having me.
I feel like we've covered lots of interesting topics. You're amazing. You're amazing for what you've done,
Thanks
and
a lot.
always remember that. But yeah, thank you so much for being my first one as well. Yay! I can't wait till COVID's over and we can actually go and get a drink or
Oh,
something like that.
beer. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
no, I know. Right, well, thank you for
Right, thanks,
today. Speak
lovely.
to you
No worries.
soon.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.